Hello, this is Ricky Bodiford with Bodiford Realty, and we're talking real estate. Everyone wants to maximize their return on investment, right? In the world of real estate, one of the most frequently asked questions involves which repairs or renovations would gain the best return on the dollar. Well, there are some tried and true renovations for sure, but however, before you go out and buy those materials, there are a few considerations that you need to make. You want to consider as to whether or not the house is structurally strong to begin with. Sure, it's fun to upgrade that kitchen with beautiful cabinetry and new countertops and high-end appliances, and that's all great. But nobody really cares about all that stuff if the roof is still leaking. You want to make sure that the house is structurally strong to begin with. So before you go out and do any renovations, make sure that you make the obvious repairs to the house first. Secondly, you need to consider the location, where you're at, which part of the country you're in. In preparation for today's video, I did quite a bit of research, and when you look online, the statistics differ from one so-called expert to another. And as you dig deeper and deeper into trying to research which remodels, which renovations return the highest amount, it comes to light that it depends on which part of the country. For instance, a person living in way up north couldn't hardly expect to get a good return on their dollar for putting in a pool. It's just too cold to use a pool for very many months out of the year. They don't get a lot of use out that pool. So the further south you go, obviously, you get a higher return on your investment for things such as that. So the location is the key. And as you're doing your homework, your research, keep that in mind. The location of the author that's doing the story may provide some statistics that are drastically different than an author in a different part of the country. Overall, there are three primary areas that case after case do better than others. Number one, a minor bathroom rebuild. Now, with a minor bathroom rebuild, you have to be careful in how far you go. We're not talking about a complete overhaul here, not a complete rebuild. If you spend too much money, you're not going to get all your money back. But if you freshen it up, maybe even some new cabinets, new paint, new counters, new fixtures and lighting, you should be good. When you start getting all the way down to the bare studs and just rebuilding everything in there, you've put entirely too much money in it. You'll never get that money out. Secondly, landscaping. A lot of times people can do some of their own work when it comes to landscaping. You can put in some sweat equity and do very well with money put into landscaping. But even if you have to hire the work done, you can still expect to get just about a dollar for dollar return on landscaping, generally speaking. Number three is a minor kitchen rebuild. Now, just like in the bathroom, don't overdo it. It's easy to spend way too much money in the kitchen, but if you are careful and you make those repairs that make it more appealing, to bring it up to date without doing a complete rebuild, you can get a good return on your money there. Those are just a few. And there are some others, like adding insulation to an attic, replacing siding, for instance. You could actually add on a deck or porch. That generally does a pretty good rate of return also. Replacing windows is something that's often done. But the ranking for how well each one of these things does depends on which part of the country you're in to begin with. So one thing you might want to consider is what repairs your particular house actually needs. Your house might need one of these things more than it needs another. If your bathroom is already in good shape, you might want to forego the statistics saying that a bath is where to put your money. Your house might need windows more than it does a bathroom. Which projects will you personally enjoy the most? And how long are you going to be in the house? Sometimes, whenever you're considering which renovations to make, you need to consider as to whether or not you're going to enjoy it. Sure, a house is the largest investment that most people ever make, but it's also used for your own enjoyment. So you don't have to worry about the return on investment. In all cases, sometimes just do the repair that feels right to you and not worry about the return on investment, because when you get right down to it, it is a case-by-case basis depending on your house. And that brings us to the last point. Your house is different than the others. And your house is in a different location than others. It might be that a repair that doesn't rank very high at all on the statistics charts is actually the best one for you to make for your house. And when it comes down to making that decision, maybe you need some help. Reach out, call us. If you're not in the coastal Georgia area, maybe you have a realtor that can help you with that. But if you're anywhere in the coastal Georgia region, we'd like to talk to you. Call Boterford Realty today. You can reach us at 912-459-2555.